Lagos never truly sleeps. Even at midnight, the city hums, faint horns in the distance. Tonight, inside a quiet hospital, a rich heiress lies unconsciously. Her name is Zora Adeyemi. Zora Adeyemi was the kind of woman people whispered about in admiration. The only daughter of Chief Adeyemi, one of Lagos' most influential businessmen, she had it all: wealth, beauty, grace, and a heart as soft as velvet. Her poise was magnetic, and her life glittered like gold. But behind her perfect smile were two faces she thought she could trust: Tera and Lola, her childhood friends. Zora, Tera, and Lola were inseparable from their teenage years. They attended the same schools, wore matching outfits, and called themselves the Golden Trio. To the world, they looked like sisters, always together, always glowing. Zora was the calm and generous one. Tera was an outspoken. Lola was quiet but calculating, the kind who watched more than she spoke. Zora never hid her wealth from them. She took them shopping in Paris, hosted birthday dinners in Dubai, and even helped Tera pay her mother's hospital bills. But with every act of kindness, envy grew like a seed in her friend's heart. Things began to change when Chief Adeyemi announced that Zora would soon take over one of his biggest companies. Everyone congratulated her that day. Everyone, including the two who wished her light would dim. "She's barely 25 and already inheriting billions," Tera said bitterly one night. "Some people are just born lucky," Lola replied, her voice cold. "Do you know the kind of top deals and estates she'll be sitting on?" Tera said bitterly. "More than we'll ever touch or seen," Lola replied. "She acts like we're all the same, but we're not. She's living our dreams while we keep saying congratulations." When success turns into suspicion and friendship hides betrayal, Zora learns that even queens can bleed. Zora's life began to unravel quietly, like a silk dress catching on a nail. It started with little things. A missing document here. A strange rumor there. An investor suddenly pulling out of a deal she had worked months to secure. She tried to stay calm. "It's just business," she told herself. But her gut said otherwise. Tera and Lola stood by her through it all, or so it seemed. Tera came over with wine, saying, "People are jealous, Zara. You're too blessed." Lola, quiet as always, just held her hand and said, "You need rest, not stress." And Zora believed them. Why wouldn't she? They were her girls, her sisters from childhood. The Golden Trio. But soon, the cracks deepened. Her father fell mysteriously ill after a company dinner. Doctors said it was stress. Zara wasn't so sure. Then came the anonymous messages, cryptic, threatening. The crown doesn't last forever. Every queen bleeds eventually. Her nights became haunted by fear and confusion. Her penthouse lights flickered. Her security cameras glitched. Once, she swore she saw someone standing at her balcony, a silhouette in the dark, watching. When she rushed outside, there was nothing but the sound of the city and her heartbeat. The next day her friends came over. Tera told her, "You need to travel. Maybe Paris for a week, get away from all this madness." Lola agreed, whispering, "We'll take care of things here. You can trust us." And she did. Her world is falling apart piece by piece, and the ones holding her together are the ones tearing her down. By morning, sunlight slipped through the half-drawn curtains, spilling across the marble floor, and that's where they found her. Zora Adeyemi. The only daughter of Chief Adeyemi. Lying motionless near the couch. Her phone lay shattered beside her. Her travel box, the one she had packed for her flight that morning, was overturned, clothes and paper scattered across the floor. The glass table was cracked. The entire room looked like she had fought for her life. The first to enter was the maid, Chioma. She opened the door humming softly, like every other morning, until she saw Zora lying motionless on the floor. Her scream echoed through the penthouse. Moments later, the security guard, Musa, ran in, eyes wide. Jesus Christ, he whispered, backing away. Madam Zora. Chioma was trembling. She's not moving. Oh God, she's not moving. Someone called Chief Adeyemi. Within minutes, his black SUV screeched to a halt in front of the building. He rushed in, breathless. When he saw her on the floor, he froze. Then, with a sound halfway between a cry and a growl, he dropped to his knees beside her. Zora. Zora, please, open your eyes. Zora. No response. He scooped her up in his arms and shouted. Call the ambulance. They sped through the streets, ignoring red lights, toward the nearest hospital. No one knew if she was alive. No one dared to ask. The police arrived soon after. Yellow tape went up. Detectives moved through the apartment with gloves and flashlights, piecing together the story in silence. The maid was questioned first. Chioma's voice shook. I just opened the door, sir. I saw her things were everywhere. It looked like she fought someone. I didn't touch anything, she said. The security guard was next. He swore he'd seen no one enter or leave all night. No alarm went off, he said. The camera stopped working last week. She said she'd fix it. No forced entry. No sign of robbery. It felt personal. Then came Tara and Lola. The two people everyone called Zora's sisters. Her best friends. Her sisters. They were brought in separately, questioned in different rooms. Upright, legs crossed, her tone calm but cold. When was the last time you spoke with Miss Zora Adeyemi? One detective asked. 2 days ago, she replied. She said she was flying to Paris. She sounded off. Like she'd been crying. Off how? Tara hesitated. She'd been under pressure. From work, from family. Maybe she couldn't take it anymore. The detective wrote quietly, never lifting his eyes. What do you think happened last night? There was a pause. Then Tara said softly. Maybe she fall down and hit her head. She's been depressed lately. The detective said nothing. He just nodded, jotting down her words, his face unreadable. In the other room was Lola. Lola sat across the table, her voice trembled slightly with fake cry. She was like a sister to me, she whispered. We talked all the time. I don't understand how this happened. When did you last speak to her? 2 days ago. She said she was tired and she was flying to Paris. What do you think happened last night? Lola lowered her gaze. Maybe she hit her head somewhere. She's been struggling, mentally. The detective didn't flinch. He simply wrote the exact words down, underlining them twice. Then he quietly closed his notebook. No one questioned the similarity. Not yet. The two women left the station believing they had handled it well. Believing they were free. That evening, the headlines spread like wildfire. Zora Adeyemi, only daughter of billionaire businessman, found dead. Police investigate possible suicide. Tara and Lola visited Zora's father to console him. They were dressed in black, eyes hidden behind sunglasses. They looked broken, the perfect picture of grieving friends. But the investigation was far from over. Because across town, in a private hospital under tight security, Zora Adeyemi's chest rose and fell faintly beneath white sheets. Machines beeped softly beside her. She wasn't gone. Chief Adeyemi had ordered absolute silence. Not even the police knew she was alive. And while Tara and Lola quietly bought flight tickets, preparing to leave the country the following week, they believed it was finally over. Zora's fingers twitched. Her eyes fluttered open. And through cracked lips, she whispered. They were in my house. The problem wasn't what Tara and Lola said. It was what they knew. The medical report never stated how Zara was injured. No officer had mentioned the fall. The press release said only one thing. Zara Adeyemi was found unconscious. Yet both women, questioned separately, had offered the same detail, that she hit her head. The detective noticed. He didn't react. Not yet. The investigation continued quietly. Forensics returned to the penthouse. They examined the cracked glass table again, the height, the angle, the blood pattern. It wasn't a simple fall. There were defensive bruises on Zara's wrist. Scratches beneath her nails. Signs of a struggle. Someone had been there. When Zara woke, memories surfaced in pieces, like flashes of lightning. When Chief Adeyemi leaned close, she whispered again. They were in the house. This time, she said more. That day, the same day Tara and Lola claimed they haven't seen her, they had come to her home. They arrived with sympathy. Soft voices. Gentle hugs. Concern written carefully on their faces. You need rest, Tara said. Paris will clear your head, Lola added. By evening, Zara walked them to the door. She watched them leave. Or so she believed. Later that night, Zara came out of her bedroom for water. That was when she heard movement. Not the air conditioner, but sounds of opening drawers carefully. She followed the sound to her father's private study. And there they were. Tara and Lola, standing over the open safe, holding documents that did not belong to them. What are you doing? Zara asked, her voice shaking. Tara and Lola were inside her father's private office. Going through the safe. The documents. The documents. If those papers fell into the wrong hands, anyone could claim ownership of Chief Adeyemi's company and properties. What are you doing? Zara whispered. They turned. And in that moment, everything cracked. The shouting came fast. Accusations. Years of swallowed envy. You think you deserve all this? Tara screamed. Do you know how many times we smiled while you lived our dreams? Lola's voice was colder. You act like we're sisters, but you were born into everything we'll never touch. Zara shook, grabbing the file. You're stealing from my family, she cried. They started struggling for the documents. Papers scattered across the floor. Zara pulled harder. Let go. Tara shouted. Then Lola pushed Zara. It wasn't planned, it was a mistake. Zara lost her balance, fell down and hit her head on the glass table. Zara lay still. She's not moving, Tara whispered. They didn't call an ambulance or for any help. They ran away. After getting Zara's statement. The detectives later called it an unexplained injury. Tara and Lola already knew better. Because they were there. That was how they knew she hit her head. Tara and Lola were arrested at the airport and charged to court. In court, the truth spilled like the documents on that floor. The push. The fight. The betrayal. The judge spoke without mercy. Attempted murder does not require intent to kill. It requires intent to abandon. Guilty. Life sentences. Zara was still in the hospital when the news came. The detective's voice was calm. But the words were not. Tara and Lola had been sentenced. Life. Zara said nothing at first. Then the tears came. Slow. Silent. These weren't just her friends. They were her sisters. Girls she had grown up with. Girls who knew her fears, her laughter, her dreams. She remembered shared clothes. Shared secrets. Shared promises whispered in teenage years. And now, shared memories were all that remained. That night, Zara stood by the window of her hospital room. The city of Lagos stretched before her, bright, restless, alive. Cars moved like veins of light. Life went on. She pressed her palm against the glass. She had lost her trust. She had lost the version of herself who believed love alone was enough. But she had kept her life. And that mattered. Zara understood something then. Not everyone who walks with you wishes you well. Not everyone who smiles is safe. And not every bond survives power, money, and envy. She learned that kindness must have boundaries. That trust should be earned, not assumed. And that even the closest hearts can carry hidden knives. As the city hummed below, Zara took a slow breath. She was still healing. Still grieving. But she was alive. And sometimes, survival itself is the crown.